She did not know that her billionaire husband was not human until the day when the mirror revealed it to her. In the deep mystery of a forest, where the supernatural is next to the real world, in a long and strange whistling, a large python transforms meticulously into a human being. It is not just any man. He appears tall, clean, elegant, dressed in a dark, expensive suit, with shining shoes and a sparkling watch like ice. He firmly holds a black suitcase that seems of great importance and displays an impenetrable smile, that of someone who holds heavy secrets. Without turning back to the tree where he comes from, he gets into a black Mercedes parked near the bushes, whose headlights blink as if to greet him. He starts the engine and heads for the city, sure of his destination. He arrives in the noisy and lively nightlife of the city, stopping in front of a very popular nightclub. When he gets out of his luxury car, his look immediately catches attention, although no one knows him. His clothing style and his car signal an obvious richness. Inside the club, the atmosphere is overwhelmed, saturated with music and heat. The stranger, who is called Maxwell, calmly sits at an isolated table, placing his mysterious suitcase next to him, attracting curious looks by his Olympian calm in the midst of the festive chaos. His attention quickly focuses on Gloria, a young girl who dances on stage with assurance and captivating energy. Gloria is known to everyone in this club, loving to be the center of attention, but she does not know that tonight will shake her existence. Maxwell then opens his suitcase, revealing a stupefying content: bills stacked carefully, illuminated by the club lights. The crowd is in shock at this fortune whose origin remains unknown. Without hesitation, Maxwell approaches Gloria and begins to cover her with money, the bills flying around her like leaves in a storm, causing general hysteria and the admiration of the crowd. Gloria, dazzled by this rain of money, continues to dance with a wide smile, delighted by this sudden fortune. When Maxwell returns to his evening, she does not waste time and runs to join him at his table, excited and curious. She admits never having seen him before, which he simply answers by introducing himself. But the conversation takes an unexpected and radical turn when Maxwell, without preamble, asks her, "Do you want to marry me?" Gloria is stunned, emphasizing that they have just met. But Maxwell insists gently on the fact that certain things are destined to be. To seal his request, he pulls out a ring adorned with a real diamond that shines intensely, causing the screams and applause of the crowd. Hypnotized by the ring, the suitcase full of money, and the appearance of the man, Gloria accepts with enthusiasm. Maxwell then leaves the club, promising to return the next day, letting Gloria dream of her new life. However, as soon as he returns to the forest, the truth of his nature is revealed. His body is twisted, his limbs change, and he becomes the golden python again, disappearing into the darkness. Back at home, Gloria announces the news to her friends, Chisom and Shum. She shows them the ring and the money, provoking astonishment. If Chisom is impressed, Shum immediately expresses reservations about this suddenness and the mysterious origin of Maxwell, calling the situation abnormal. Gloria, blinded by the promise of wealth, brutally rejects her friend's concerns. The events then take on a dizzying speed. Maxwell returns as promised, meets Gloria's parents, and organizes a grand wedding. The feast is incredible, but a disturbing detail persists. No member of Maxwell's family is present. No one asks questions, too busy enjoying the money and the party. Gloria, now married to a billionaire, feels at the top of the world. The wedding seems idyllic at first. Maxwell gives Gloria gifts, jewelry, and money. However, a strange and disturbing routine sets in quickly. Every night, Maxwell refuses to sleep at home. He pretends to go to a factory and promises to come back every morning. Gloria, naive and protected by her material comforts, accepts his explanations without trying to verify the nature of her work or the logistics of her impossible night trips. In reality, Maxwell returns to the forest every night to regain his reptilian form. The veil begins to tear one night, around 11 p.m., while Gloria is in her bathroom. Looking at herself in a mirror, she sees behind her not the legs of her husband, but a long and thick tail of golden pythons that waver. Terrified, she drops her mirror, but when she turns around, Maxwell appears perfectly normal, although her gaze becomes cold and piercing when she mentions what she saw. He leaves the room almost supernaturally, leaving Gloria trembling and unable to sleep. The next day, Gloria tries to confide in her mother on the phone. She recounts the appearance of the snake tail, hoping for support. But her mother, obsessed with the social and religious success of this marriage, violently rejects her fears. She accuses the devil of wanting to destroy her daughter's home and insists that Maxwell is a divine blessing that should not be questioned. Isolated by her own family, Gloria remains in doubt until she visits her friend Shom. Shom takes the matter seriously when she learns that Maxwell never sleeps there. She urges Gloria to carry out a secret investigation. She must follow him to discover the truth. Driven by fear and the need to know, Gloria accepts Shom's plan. The very evening, as soon as Maxwell leaves the house dressed in black, Gloria waits a few moments, then takes her own car to take it for a spin. Her heart beats for Shom as she follows the rear lights of the Mercedes in the quiet night. She is determined to see where he disappears every night. However, the spin fails in a frustrating way. A car overtakes her violently, and when she looks again in front of her, Maxwell's car has become volatile, as if it had never existed. Confused and frightened, Gloria goes home. It should be noted that Maxwell had already shown strange behaviors before, like the day he took Gloria into the forest via a frightening shortcut, stopping to admire the dense bushes with a smile that had frozen the young woman's blood. To appease the tensions and maintain his grip, Maxwell then led Gloria to a magnificent domain. He had offered her a luxurious house, a grand gesture that had temporarily erased Gloria's doubts. But this time, the gifts were no longer enough. Following the failure of the spin, Shom proposes a radical and dangerous solution: drug Maxwell. The idea is to make him consume omnivorous powers for dinner to force him to sleep at home and see what happens when he cannot return to the forest. Gloria, desperate by the uncertainty, agrees to put this plan into action. That night, she prepares the meal by hiding the pills, hiding her terror behind an impassive face. Maxwell eats without suspecting anything, evoking his alleged stress at work, before the effects of the drug quickly submerge him. The plan works beyond all hope, but the result is an absolute nightmare. Maxwell falls asleep deeply on the living room sofa. Gloria, after taking a shower to calm her nerves, returns to the room and is horrified. What lies on the sofa is no longer quite her husband. A massive, long and dark python's tail comes out of his clothes and drags on the floor, moving slowly and brilliantly under the light. The vision confirms her worst fears. The man she married is a monstrous creature. Under the shock, Gloria shouts a scream that tears the silence of the neighborhood. The survival instinct takes over. She does not try to understand, she flees. Barefoot in tears, she runs out of the house, crossing the domain until she collapses in front of the security agents at the entrance. Unable to speak, she points her finger at his house. The guards, confused, try to join Maxwell, but his number is already out of service. When they inspect her house, they find the place is empty. Maxwell, his snake tail, and even his car have disappeared without a trace, like a hallucination. The next day, Gloria's parents come to pick her up. Although her mother still doubts and suggests that Gloria imagined the scene because of the stress, Gloria knows what she saw. She withdraws her alliance, leaves her on the bed, and definitely leaves this life of falsehood. Maxwell never reappears. The story ends on a bitter but essential lesson. We must be wary of people who enter our lives too perfectly, with unexplained riches. Everything that shines is not gold, and true love is not built on nocturnal secrets and easy money. Gloria survived, but she will never forget the hidden truth behind Maxwell's seductive face. Thank you for following us.